I think it's relevant to become very aware of what's required, because there's a lot of carbon monoxide detection being required now. Now that it used to fall under a gas detection scope, it's now been included in fire detection. Hello everybody, talking fire. Myself and Clive are here discussing video smoke detection, aspirating smoke detection, and some multi-sensors stuff, Clive.
Magic stuff.
Let me hand over to you. What has changed with the world of video smoke detection?
Right. So video smoke detection, using video technology, a whole lot of software parameters within the video camera and software and to find fires. In the past, it was only used as a supplementary detection. The standard now says, refer to the trusty manual, which has just moved. Where video smoke detection is used as a sole means of detection, it needs to be designed and their suitability and performance verified by a qualified specialist. We've used this long ago, and it was quite horrendous trying to set this up. It was a very difficult thing to set up. The software allows you to block out areas if there's areas where there's steam and people moving and so on. So the person that's installing it and going to commission it and say that it's working correctly, they've got the work cut out. They need to verify that it will do what it needs to do. Okay. One of the things is, if your video smoke detection is using supplementary lighting, so you've got a warehouse and you've decided you were using video smoke detection and you've got lights that are shining in the area, those lights need to conform to your 10139 standard power supply requirements. So you've got to have your 24 hours backup, you've got to have your half an hour in alarm and all of that stuff. It forms part of your detection unit because you're using the light to make the detector work properly. Video smoke detector. What else we have there? Where VSD, video smoke detection, is used as the sole means of detection, the manufacturer and or the supplier's application limitations should be followed, and where required, specialist knowledge should be sought. Again, it's a very, very, very specialized industry that detector this. You've got to know what you're doing, so please be aware of that. Don't just go and slap in a camera that you buy from Photo Cats and expect it to work. You've got to know what you're doing. Right, that's what we got there on the video smoke detection. Anything you want to ask me about, because I know all about this.
Now, on the video smoke detection, the technology has been around for a while, but it's good to hear that they're finally getting the analytics right.
Yeah.
And hopefully eliminating some false alarms, I believe, with some problems. Once again, it's something I know very little about. It's not something that I've seen or dealt with or, supplied.
There's been a couple of people that have tried to push it as the silver bullet that's going to solve the world's problems, and it's got its place. It is a very good system, but you've got to be aware of what the limitations are.
Yeah, but new technology is always welcoming, and it will be good to see how that develops. Jumping onto aspirating smoke detection, we all know it's been around for a while. Mm-hmm. They did include the EN54 Part 20 standard into the new 10139 2021. Although it fits under a manufacturer's or a product guideline in terms of approval, it does come down to the system design. So we've got Class A, Class B, Class C. Every detector has got its own parameters. Every detector's got its own sensitivities, a maximum number of holes in each class. All they're saying is that now in the design according to EN54 Part 20. So just a quick breakdown. Class A, we call very early warning smoke detection. So that is, we're talking 0.05, 0.04% obscuration. We're looking for smoldering cables. That's more, we're going to fall under possibly 246, that very sort of data telecoms, that space. EN54 Part 20 Class B is early warning smoke detection. So it is more sensitive than your standard point type detector. Once again, depending on the application, if that's what the requirement is, it needs to be designed according to that. Class C is smoke detection. And that's where we fall back on we need to cover a warehouse, it's above 10.5. We've looked at beams are not an option, we're using aspirating. We don't need to be more sensitive. We can go back to the 2% obscuration, the transport times between each. We can go from 60 seconds to 120 seconds. So there's a lot of differences between the three. But the main thing to do is obviously identify the risk, identify what unit you're going to do a design. All aspirator, they come with pipe software. So do the design, make sure you comply to the class that's required. Design it according to your design and pop it with the paperwork and you're good to go. It's quite simple. Just being included because of the new standard.
Yeah.
Should have been adhered to, in my opinion, should have been adhered to all the time anyway. So it's just been formalized now.
We've just commissioned a site where we've installed a ASD, and just to come back to your sensitivity, we tested it by using a resistor, put it on a battery, let the resistor heat up, bit of smoke, and it activates it. So these things can be very, very sensitive, and they're fantastic. Yeah.
But once again, just hopping back, we're talking 10139.
Yep.
We're not talking 246, which has its own aspirating requirements.
Yeah.
So there's not.
And remember, power supply needs to comply.
Yes.
Backup on the batteries. That is, I think we're going to reiterate this all the time, but that is super duper important.
Yeah, they do. Some of them draw a lot more current than what you might expect, and you possibly, the old days of just putting in 2 7-amp hour batteries because that's what we do.
Might not be enough.
Yeah, do your battery calcs.
Yeah.
Do your designs, install it according, and you have no problems. You're compliant. You're good to go.
Yeah, that's it. Right, multi-sensors. Okay, so a multi-sensor is a unit that has got more than one sensing element in it. So you can have a smoke and heat and CO2. The biggest thing is that there are now standards that has got to be manufactured too. I'm not 100% sure on the standards. Hilton, it is.
I think it falls under, carbon monoxide previously, and I do stand to be corrected. This is once again, I think carbon monoxide didn't have an actual manufacturing standard in the EN 54, but I think they've included it as maybe part 26 or something like that. And then 2 devices is part 30, and 2 or more than 2 devices is part 31.
Yeah, so there are now standards that it's got to comply to. The one thing is that if the multi-sensor has been used in a situation and you've isolated the one sensing element that needs to be mounted, that needs to be noted in the documentation, and if you're using a heat and smoke detector, for instance, and you isolated the smoke side, your heat element would then have to fall within the parameters of a heat detector. So just be aware of that, and I think that's about all that I can think of offhand for a multi-sensor. I don't know if there's anything else.
I think it's relevant to become very aware of what's required, because there's a lot of carbon monoxide detection being required now. Now that it used to fall under a gas detection scope, it's now been included in fire detection.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, facts are that people die from smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide poisoning before they actually get burnt. Either way is horrible, but it is becoming the norm. So let's
hotels, dormitories, that kind of thing. Carbon monoxide is a very good detector to use there. So so be aware of what's available.
Yeah, and check your spacings. Once again, you know where to go.
Yep.
Come to us and we can assist. If we don't know, we will certainly try our best to find out.